Hi everyone, this is a collective tarot reading for the new moon in Gemini, which will be exact on June 6th. And it is aimed at lightworkers, so if you want more peace, love, health, and wealth in the world, you are who I am reading for. I'm going to do a seven card horseshoe spread. There we go. As always, and I have 3 oracle cards to the side for you. You can choose which one, two, or all 3 resonate with you the most while I'm doing the reading. I'm looking forward to this full moon. It's a mixed bag. Like, I love the fact that it's conjoined Venus, but it's also squaring Saturn. So Saturn also has position on the sun and moon. But anyway, let's cut the deck and see what we have. Actually, while I'm cutting the deck, you're probably going to see this deck often because this is by far the most thumbnail-friendly tarot deck that I own. Obviously, that's not my main motivation, but, you know, when in doubt, as my default choice, this is kind of a no-brainer. So anyway, in the past, we have the 8 of Cups. The present is the 6 of Swords reversed. Very interesting. Known factors is the Star, okay? We collectively are the Knight of Cups reversed. Yeah, that makes sense. Unknown factors is the Sun. Awesome. Advice card is the Tower. And the future is the Queen of Wands with Strength at the bottom of the deck. This is extremely encouraging. Like right out of the gate, I barely read anything. Only 2 reverse cards in the whole thing. But regardless of anything, I'm going to set up these cards in the shot, and I'll see you right now. I'm also going to stare at them, just FYI. All right, a couple things. So first of all, I would say that the... I'll refer, there's a joke that I often say that I kind of assume that you've heard me say, so I'll just say it. 3/4 of my readings can be summed up in one of 2 things: be patient or do the scary thing. The overall vibe of this message as a whole is looking like be patient. However, the Tower here as an advice card, in almost any other context, the Tower is like a scary card to see at at a glance for many tarot aficionados. However, in the advice position, I don't even feel the need to say don't panic. And this is giving me vibes of do the scary thing. So there's one little glimmer of do the scary thing in a sea of be patient, basically. So unpacking, before I unpack it, the 2 cards that are confusing me the most in this reading are the Star and the Queen of Wands. I'll get to that once we get there. But obviously with the 8 of Cups in the past going into the 6 of Swords reversed in the present position, it's giving vibes of a long trek that we've been on, which, I don't know, maybe 4 years or something like that. I can understand how, the events of the last 4 years seem unending and ever accelerating. And yeah, there's still recuperation to be done from that, which is hinted at the Star here. Because again, in my attempt, well, it makes enough sense, but as I was trying to fit this particular card into the reading, as a known factor, I would say that the Star is the card that comes after the Tower, right? So it's a moment of rest and recuperation and balance. Now, in the known factors, that might seem a bit confusing. However, if you compare the times, how can I say this? If you compare the 2 weeks, in the wake of the new moon in Gemini, so let's say the first half of June, it's looking like a very activity, Gemini-focused energy, right? And the way that the Star makes sense into this is to see it as, all things considered, this is still a break. We are between eclipse seasons, and I've mentioned hyper novelty several times in these videos, but when the world is throwing bigger and bigger changes at us faster and faster before we've even adapted to the last 2 or 3 changes, pit stops can look like highways, but a highway compared to the USS Enterprise is slow, and it is a break. Like driving, oh, I don't know, 250 on a highway, which would be insane speeds by any metric and any unit of measurement. Compared to the Enterprise going at warp 2, that's still slow. And I think that the star, especially flanked with the sun in the unknown factors. This is a really interesting combination here. But the star is inviting us to see the opportunities to relax and create that distance for ourselves that can allow for the space for each individual watching this to figure out what is theirs to do, which is a theme that's come up a lot in these light worker readings that I've been doing. And yeah, I don't just want to repeat the same thing, which is the trouble that I'm facing right now. But despite everything, I think that the two reverse cards being the Six of Swords, the card of changing perspectives with help, moving on to calmer shores is a meme phrase that is thrown around a lot with the Six of Swords. But I don't think that, given the broad situation of this reading, I don't think that applies that much. It's really a question of looking at things differently, almost like the Hanged Man, but obviously minor. And also the Knight of Cups, It's hard to figure out what your heart really wants when our mind is still stuck in the past and how things were. I think that the invitation to kind of embrace the times that we're in, or at least embrace the things that we can't control, so that we can better get the wisdom to tell the difference between the things that we need the serenity to accept and the things that we need the courage to act upon, hinting at the Tower once again. And yeah, let's go with the sun here. The sun and the unknown factors. Because again, like as I alluded to up until this point, with my little, doing 250 on the highway compared to being on the bridge of the Enterprise, it's things are better than they look. And I think that the sun in the unknown factors, upright. Well, the entire reading is upright except for these two. But the fact that the sun is here in the unknown factors is a clear nod to this. And in that sense, it does play well with the star card, which is like, hey, I know we're doing 250 on the highway here, but this actually is a pit stop, so we should really embrace it and make the best of it. I said explicitly at the beginning of this video that the new moon is squaring Saturn, so as much as there's a lot of good, chatty, very active and dynamic vibes in the times surrounding this new moon, Saturn is just, silently just putting his foot on the brake and saying, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? And I think that the invitation of taking the time to reflect and looking for those little windows to create space between oneself and the world, so that we can really capitalize or detect on the opportunities and act on them dynamically and swiftly. This tower is pretty blatantly an invitation for us to be the lightning. However, it's it's easy to misinterpret that as, just rage out at everything and tear it all down. But it's really a question of acting decisively on the opportunity that is perfect for us. So we have the Knight of Cups reverse, following your heart, the joy, clarity, and levity of the sun, but it's hidden, it's unknown. But it's when in life you have to care, but not that much. I'm surprised that I haven't said that so far, but that's really the attitude with which one can detect opportunities in the chaotic times that we're in. And that's kind of the invitation of the Tower as the advice card. Now, the Queen of Wands in the incoming energy slash future or whatever, the reason she's confusing to me is because of, well, actually, no, I think everything I've said, or at least what I've said recently over the last couple of minutes, have played into clarifying her, because I've just been hammering in the whole point of, the Enterprise versus driving on the highway at an insane speed. When you look at things from a broader perspective, that's when the bold, calm confidence of the Queen of Wands can truly emerge, yeah. And again, strength has been silently nodding at the bottom of the deck, underpinning the entire reading this whole time. I'll remind you that, the image of a woman taming a lion with her bare hands, but they're both chill, Strength is gentle strength, not domineering strength. And that plays into the whole be patient thing. But I think, I'm really glad I remembered to say this, because the way that being patient and acting decisively can combine actually surprisingly well is to focus on what is good for you to do, you, the individual watching this, If you want to help steer how things, how can I say this? If you want to help steer the way the trends are pointed right now towards a world with more peace, love, health, and wealth in it, it's easy to panic when we think that doing 250 on the highway is fast. And again, with the broader perspective of saying, we're on the Enterprise. This is actually, we're doing warp 2 right now. Sorry. The point that I was driving at is that when we're panicking, we tend to flail and we tend to throw our lightning in any which way, and it's through the try to have fun, try to find opportunities to have fun, and not necessarily at other people's expense. I'll throw that out there right now. I know who I'm reading for. If most of the fun that you have is at other people's expense, no matter how much they deserve it, I know the people that you like to poke fun at are truly bad people and they deserve all the ridicule. That's fine. Find something else to have fun with. Do that anyway. You can still, laugh at the people you want to laugh at and troll the people you want to troll. I'm a troll. I fucking love trolling. But it's not a way to live. I've learned the lessons of that as well. So yeah, try to keep that in mind. And what else? Have I left anything on the table? I'm gonna pause just to make sure. No, I think I've. There's nothing vital that I haven't mentioned. So just to sum it up, because this reading was way more rambly than I would like it to be. So in short, things might look like they're going fast, and they are, but compared to the times that led into this new moon and the times that might follow this new moon, this actually is a break, even though it doesn't look like it. And if you can find opportunities to just relax and have fun and get the rest, healing, and recuperation that you theoretically know is available to you, but it's hard to see when we're doing 250 on the highway, it is through that you can, first of all, actually move on to the calmer shores and see that, I guess doing 250 on the highway really isn't that fast compared to, 10 times light speed or whatever warp 2 is. It's when you have that clarity that you can actually see what is yours to pounce on. And that is the invitation of this message, basically. Yeah, that sums it up nicely. So let's go to the Oracle card portion. If you pick the Moon Oracle, your card is the Sword, the 17th Lunar Mansion. Okay, give me a second to look at this. Yep, this is really on the nose, because the 17th Lunar Mansion is basically late Libra going into early Scorpio. The moon doesn't like being in Scorpio. The moon would rather stay you know, anywhere else. It would rather be at the opposite sign of Taurus, you know. But the reason I mention that is that there are scales hinting at Libra, but there's also swords hinting at the decisive action of Mars-ruled Scorpio. Yeah, Pluto, whatever. But that is the message. It is an invitation to weigh your options, and it's basically a reiteration of this whole reading, really. Weigh your options, and when you've made your decision, pounce. Yeah, if you chose the Angelarium, your angel is Uriel, the angel of flame. Okay, geez, this is getting a lot on the nose. Let me stare at this a little, actually. Okay, so as much as, you know, the literal interpretation of an angel of flame is kind of on the nose, there's another aspect to this which I really like, because 2 of his 4 hands are protecting the flame on his head. So there is, geez, this is another reiteration of this whole reading. I was going to say that it's, you know, to protect your energy so that you can have the energy that you need once you need it. You know, the outreached hand here doesn't have any flame on it. I don't even know what this thing is that this angel is holding, but there's a clear, well, at least in the context of this reading, a pretty clear indication of protecting your flame so that when you need to dish out the flame, you can. Yeah, if you chose the Tao Oracle, your card is Before Completion. This is I Ching hexagram 64 of 64. Let me read the key words, which are uncertainty, doubt and hesitation, loss of faith, unstable conditions, be extra cautious, discord. Very interesting. Let me reflect on that for a second. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's what I asked myself. I really didn't pause long at all, but what I asked myself after pausing was, how is this on the nose? Because these 2 cards were basically reiterations of the whole reading, kind of a little too much on the nose. How is this on the nose? Well, the way it's on the nose is it's a warning against the dangers of lashing out at people when you gotta, this is an invitation to be open and vulnerable and to see that you are still alive. And it's by doing that that you can avoid the panic and discouragement and discord that comes from, you know, the being extra cautious and unstable conditions and loss of faith. You know, this is it has very strong vibes of believing that doing 250 on the highway is all there is, and not even recognizing that, as difficult as it is, I won't reiterate this for the millionth time, this actually is a break. And that's how you can avoid the needless lashing out, I would say, is the warning of this card. So that, you know, again, when your opportunity comes, that you're ready for it because you've spent so much time relaxing and having fun and recuperating. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the reading there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a like. I hope y'all have a great couple weeks. Take care. I'll see you soon.